Hello, welcome to this fourth and last video on Thomas Egenes lesson 8. This last section gives the story of the monkey and the crocodile, which is an old Indian folk tale. It's given in highly simplified form here, in fact so simplified that it's not really comprehensible, well, not quite fully comprehensible. The same story is given later on in the book, with some more detail, which makes it easier. But basically all it is, there's this monkey who lives in a forest on the banks of the Ganges, lives in a tree, and he becomes friendly with a crocodile, Mr. Crocodile, and regularly goes down and feeds him fruit. Mrs. Crocodile has other plans, and she wants to eat the monkey's heart. So it's not stated in the story, but she actually grabs the monkey in order to eat his heart. And the monkey, being a clever fellow and willing to tell a lie to avoid the danger he's in, and says, "Oh, sorry, Mrs. Crocodile, but I've left my heart up in my tree. I'll go and fetch it for you." And Mrs. Crocodile, being a rather simple soul, lets him go. So he scurries off up the tree, and then feigns astonishment. He pretends that he's seeing somebody stealing his heart. So he comes back and says, "Well, sorry, Mrs. Crocodile, my heart has been stolen." And being a rather simple soul, she accepts that version of the story, and so they live happily ever after, with the monkey continuing to feed Mr. Crocodile with fruit. So we'll go now to the Sanskrit version, as I say, highly simplified, which starts on page 104 of your printed book. I will read it out. Let me get rid of this for a moment. I'll read it out from the book first, and then we'll analyze it. And from now on, generally, I'll try to veer towards including the sandhi wherever possible, just so that you get more and more used to it as we go along. So here we go. So tatra gangayam kumbhiru bhavati vanarastate vasati vanaraha phalani kumbhiraya nikshipati kumbhira phalani khadati Bharya, the wife, that is Kumbhirasya, Bharya, the crocodile's wife, Bharya, Vanarasya, Hridayam Ichchati. Hridayam Vrikshe Bhavatiti, Vanaro Vadati. Kashchid Hridayam Choryatiti, Vanaro Vadati. Evam Kumbhira Vanarasya Mitre Tishtata. So, in detail now, back to sentence 1. Tatra, there. By the way, the whole story you will find in transliteration and translation on pages 266 and 267 in the key section. I won't write it all out. What I'll do just on my manuscript notes, I'll point out anything that's noteworthy. So tatra, there, Gangayam, on the Ganges, Kumbhira bhavati. This Kumbhira, crocodile, masculine noun, not to be confused with the quite common adjective Gambhira, meaning deep. So tatra Gangayam. Ganga is it's the Sanskrit for the Ganges, still call that in modern India, the Ganga. It's a feminine noun, and so the locative on the Ganges or by the Ganges is Gangayam. Gangayam, on the Ganges. So Tatra Gangayam, there on the Ganges, Kumbhiro Vasati, or in the Ganges, obviously. Tatra Gangayam Kumbhiro Vasati. There in the Ganges, a crocodile lives. Vanara Tate Vasati. The monkey, or a monkey, Vasati lives. Tate. Tata. Bit difficult to pronounce with a dental followed by a retro. Tata means a bank of a river or a shore. Vanara Palani Kumbhiraya Nikshipati. Kship to throw, nikship to throw down, throw something to somebody. So the Vanara, the monkey, Kumbhiraya, Palani Kumbhiraya Nikshipati, throws fruit to the crocodile. Palani, fruits. Remember, we use the plural, and this was specifically just talking about one individual fruit. Kumbhiraya, dative, Nikshipati, he throws down. Kumbhira, Palani, Khadati. The crocodile eats the fruits. Bharya is the wife. We have to understand the wife of the crocodile. Vanarasya Hridayam Ichati. Hridaya is the heart. Ichati, she wants. Vanarasya Hridayam Ichati. She wants the crocodile's heart. The monkey, thinking very quickly, says, Hridayam vrikshe bhavatiti. Vanaro vadati. So, iti vanaro vadati. Hridayam vrikshe bhavati. The heart, meaning my heart. Vrikshe bhavati is in the tree. Vanaro bhava iti. Vanaro bhavati. Thus the monkey says. Then he scurries off up the tree, and the next thing is what he says when he gets there. Kashchit, somebody. So who is ka? If you add chit, that means it makes it indefinite, not who, but somebody. Don't know who, somebody. Sorry, I've forgotten to show you my iPad again. So Kumbhira, not to be Gambhira, Ganga, Gangayam, Tata, Hridaya, it's all I've written so far. So Kashchit, somebody, with the sandhi, of course, in the h and the ch, so it becomes Kashchit, meaning somebody. By the way, the suffix chit does not decline, but the kas does. So by somebody would be kena chit, to somebody kasmai chit, and so on. So kashchit, somebody, hridayam chorayati, somebody is stealing the heart, meaning my heart. So kashchit hridayam chorayatiti, vanara vadati, the vanara says, the monkey says. Evam, thus, meaning in that way. Kumbhira vanarascha mitre tishtata. Evam, in that way, thus. The Kumbhiro vanarascha, the crocodile and the monkey. Mitre tishtata. Tishtata, is it explained here? They too stand, yes. So the tishtati, from the root sta, means to stand, as you know, and also means to remain or stay. If they remain friends, in Sanskrit you can say they stood friends, they remained friends. It makes the present tishtati, and this is the dual, the third person dual, which tishtata. So in this grammar we haven't done the past tense yet, so everything is expressed in the present tense. So mitre tishtata. There's actually an interesting ambiguity here, because this word mitra can mean a friend or friendship. It can mean both. Mitra started off in Vedic as being a purely masculine noun, But in the later language, it almost always became neuter. Now you may ask, why would a word like friend, which you'd expect to be masculine or feminine, become neuter? I strongly suspect that it's because of this ending tra, the general ending indicating an implement or a tool for doing something is generally neuter. And so there's so many words ending in a tra. So yantra, tantra, mantra, kanitra, shastra, sutra, so many of them, very, very common ending. And maybe they're under the influence, as it were, neuter noun influence, mitra also came to be treated as a neuter. So now, mitre tishtata, if it means they stand, tishtata, they too stand, mitre. Now we have just learned that the neuter dual, nominative and accusative, is e. Remember from the declension of palam, pale, two fruits, mitre. So mitre tishtata can mean they stand friends. In other words, they remain friends. And in the dual number, because it's just the two of them, the monkey and the crocodile. This could equally mean, if you construe mitra here as the abstract noun meaning friendship, it could equally mean mitre tishtata. They stand in friendship, or they remain in friendship. They remain friends. So there we are. It can have either meaning. I wouldn't have expected such an interesting ambiguity to appear so early in Thomas Egenes, but there we are. I see a note at the bottom, the story will become more clear when it is studied in detail in lesson 11. Well, that's great. It's clear enough now, hopefully. So I will read it through to you once more, and then that will be the end of lesson 8. Tatra Gangayang Kumbhiro Bhavati Vanarastate Vasati Vanara Palani Kumbhiraya Nikshipati Kumbhira Palani Kadati Bharya Vanarasya Hridayam Ichchati Hridayam Vrikshe Vasati, Hridayam Vrikshe Bhavatiti Vanaro Vadati Kashchid Hridayam Chorayatiti Vanaro Vadati Evam Kumbhiro Vanarasya Mitre Tishtata. I will explain just one thing. Some of you may have seen and been puzzled by the sandhi in sentence number 7. Kashchid Hridayam. Somebody. Hridayam. The sandhi here becomes Kashchid Kashchid. So the H disappears and is replaced by a the, Kashchid Hridayam. What actually happens is this slightly odd sandhi rule, but it's quite regular. Where you have a word that ends in a stop, you most commonly find it in words ending in a D or a T. And the next word begins with a h. What happens is that the dh plus h, I'm talking here about pure consonantal h, hridaya, they merge to become a double DH, which is why you get kashchid hridayam, and written as that's the d plus dra. So there we are. That concludes our little story of the monkey and the crocodile, and this concludes lesson 8.